Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kobiski, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay.
Great. And then just spotlight me if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being patient today. We're just getting started a little bit late, so we're going to dive right into it. I'll just wait to be spotlighted so that people can see. Awesome. Here we go. Okay, so for today's equipment, we're going to be doing full body strength today. So equipment today, we're going to be using some type of a band. If you have a series of bands, I know a few of us do, to have them all on standby because we're going to be using different resistances. Okay, and then we're going to have some type of weighted object. It doesn't have to be a dumbbell. If you have one, that's great. If not, it can be soup cans, it could be water bottles, wine bottles, anything that you have. If you do have dumbbells, I would maybe keep them under 5 pounds. Okay, so, and if you want to have 2 at your side, that's fine. I'll just be demonstrating with 1 today. Totally up to you. It's more of a stability thing. If some of us need to have our hand to help us for stability, we'll just be doing 1 arm at a time. But some of us might want to challenge and do both. So if you feel that might be you, have 2 on standby. Okay, preferably the same weight. And then we're going to use a dowel. Okay, so nice. Something light, right? A broomstick, dead hockey stick, umbrella, crutch, anything you have, longer or wider than your shoulders, easy to grip, okay? I'm just going to race through that so that we can get started. We're going to do a little bit of release work, so sit up nice and tall. For those of you that are new, I only see a couple new names in here, maybe just 1, but if you have any questions or comments throughout this, just shoot it in the chat and I'll answer it as soon as I can, okay? So we're going to sit nice and tall, shoulders rolling back onto your spine. If you need a backrest, go ahead and sit yourself up away from it and maybe prop something behind your back just to get a little taller. So like a yoga block or a towel. If you don't need a backrest, go ahead and sit away completely. And let's get that nice tall frame coming here. Slightly tuck that chin, and we're just going to do some release work into the pecs. We're not going to spend too much time here today. We're just going to do pecs and traps. Okay, so just pec major and then trap so that we can get started into our movement. Make sure you're digging in and behind the breast tissue. So if you're female or you were born with breast tissue, we're going in and around. Male or not born with breast tissue, you're going to be almost working at like a diagonal right here on the front of the chest. Okay, so it's going to look a little different. Make sure you're relaxing that arm of the side that you're working on. Okay. And a few more seconds here. And then we're going to come up into the trap. So now you're going to come up right into the neck. So the traps are right up in here, kind of going down the back. Some of us like to work up in the neck here. I like to just support my elbow just to give myself a little support here. Keep working on that. And you're doing either little tiny circles or like a seesaw action forward and back. You're just trying to work where it feels a bit tender or maybe tight. Mine feels a bit like a guitar string. That's kind of a good way to describe it. If you're doing a lot of transfers or you're using a walker or anything like that, you might find these really tight, this area. So we really want to get in here. Okay. And then we will do that release. So you're going to think of tucking that chin slightly. You're going to pin the fingers down on a spot. So you're going to pin down somewhere at that area and then peel your ear away. And you should feel a bit of a lengthening happening there. So pin the fingers, peel away, and then come back to neutral. Good. Pin and peel. And again, pin and peel, pin and peel. Okay, about 10. And then we're going to go to the other side. Also, a note about cameras. If you want to have your camera on, that's fine. I know some people like to have it on. If not, totally fine as well. Whatever you're comfortable with. And again. And awesome. Shake that out. Just give yourself a little test. So if you just tip your head side to side, if you got any of that areas, you should feel a little more length on that one side than the other one. Okay. All right. Other side. So starting with your pec. So getting into that pec muscle, in and behind the breast tissue if you need to, relaxing this arm. So just letting it hang or just resting your hand on your armrest is fine too. Okay, a few more seconds here. And then we're going to make our way up to the trapezius. So coming up right up at that neck, you can also go onto the neck, up into these neck muscles if that feels good too. Otherwise, we're right in between the neck and the shoulder. And you can even creep a little bit back, like right back up in that section back there. Okay, seesawing action or little mini circles. We want to go where it's a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. So whether that means tightness or tenderness, that's kind of where we want to work. It shouldn't be like extremely painful, but we definitely want to make some change there, some length. Okay, and then we're going to find that area to pin and release. So you're going to push into an area right around there, slightly tuck that chin, and then you're going to tip your opposite ear to the shoulder, and hopefully you'll feel a little bit of lengthening happen here. So we pin the fingers and then peel away. If you don't feel it, I invite you to try and move and find a new spot to pin. Eventually you will find it. It's just kind of searching right where that muscle is and where it's going to make the biggest difference. Okay. Couple more here, more than a couple. We're about halfway. And I just saw, thank you, Doreen, I just saw you shake your hand. If this doesn't work for some people's hands, what you can do is grab a ball for next time and just use the ball to add some pressure, because sometimes it is really hard on our fingers. So if that's something you want to do next time, just bring a ball. I sometimes forget to mention that, but if that might be something you're interested in, a tennis ball would work really well, or a lacrosse ball. Okay, shake that out. Good. All right, now we're going to go right into our cat-cow. So we're going to tuck your chin. 1. We're going to round the spine. We're going to go all the way down until you can't go down anymore. So no one should be looking at the monitor. Eyes are either at our legs or behind, looking behind our legs. Slowly, deep breath. Slowly roll up. Okay, bring your hands behind you or at your side, somewhere where you can push into something like a surface. Relax your shoulders. Think of bringing them down and back. And I want you to like arch your back. So it's like we're making an opposite C curve of what we just did. My neck is exposed. I'm looking up at the ceiling, and we're going to take a deep breath here. Okay, these are our 2 spinal movements. We're going to do them again, tucking that chin. So we round the spine all the way down. We're going to do 5 of these. Really good to warm up that spine, get things moving. Deep breath at the bottom. Inhale or exhale. Slowly rolling up. Okay, hands on a surface or behind you. Reach your heart to the ceiling, shoulder blades in your back pockets, and we lift. Deep breath here. Excellent. And we do it again, tucking that chin, rounding in the spine. Slowly coming down. Okay, deep breath when you're down there. You can even use your arms or hands to pull yourself into your legs. Okay, slowly moving up. If you need to use your hands to help yourself out, that's fine too. Hands behind you or at your sides, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Let's reach that heart up to the ceiling, just like you're showing off a necklace. Take a deep breath at the top. Okay, good. We're going to do 2 more as a group. Tucking that chin, rounding in the spine. If I'm moving too fast for you, feel free to slow it down. We don't want anyone getting lightheaded. Okay, especially when we're moving from up to down. Getting our heart or getting our head above or below our heart can sometimes make that happen. Okay, deep breath at the bottom. Slowly rolling up, taking your time if you need to. Hands behind you, shoulder blades into your back pockets, reach your heart to the ceiling. Think of your neck being nice and long, and we're exposing that throat. Deep breath here, and we're going to do this again. Last time, everybody, tucking that chin, rounding the spine, slowly coming down. Deep breath at the bottom. Okay, and then we move back up. This is our last extension. I always like to end on the extension because it feels so good for our back. Reach that heart to the ceiling and expose that throat, show off that necklace. Deep breath here. Okay, good. We're going to come in. We're going to go right up to the ceiling. Nice big reach. Fingers up to the ceiling. So I should see nice big splayed fingers. If I could see your hands, pull an imaginary object from the ceiling, almost like a rope. Other side. If your neck allows and it feels okay, I want you to have your eye gaze up at your hand. And up, good. Reaching straight up to that ceiling, like you're going to pull something down. Pull. Pull. Good. And now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So we're going to go forward once. So notice how my arms aren't doing anything. So I get a lot of this. No chicken wings. So just those shoulders. Yeah. It's a lot more work to do it this way, but now we are hitting those scapular movers, which is what we want. We're going to be hitting a lot of things today. Push, pull, press, rotate. So we want to make sure our shoulders are really warmed up. Okay. And then we reverse all the way, almost like you're going to touch your shoulders to your earlobes. 3 and 5. Nice. 6, 7. Good. This is 8. 2 more. And then we're going to go into some bear hugs. And awesome. Good. Okay. We're going to reach the arms out to the sides, splay those fingers, big hug yourself. Hug yourself like you love yourself. And you're going to switch the top arm. So now we alternate. Good. When you do this opening, try and really open your hands, almost like you're going to take it almost back behind you, just so we can get a nice big pec stretch. If you have shoulder pain or you're working with anything, feel free to adapt anything I do. If you need help with adapting, just let me know and I'll give you an alternative. There's an alternative for everything. There's always another option. Just have to be creative sometimes. And again, nice, everybody, really stretching those elbows, reaching out to the sides. And again, good. Keep hugging yourself. Exhale, rotate, and center. If your feet have feeling and you can feel where they are, they shouldn't be moving. So they should be staying on the foot plates of your chair or on the floor as we do this rotation. There shouldn't be any little dances happening at your feet. Nice. Exhale. Your eyes are just kind of going for the ride. So I'm just kind of looking as my torso rotates. Okay. 4 more here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Awesome. Good. Today we're going to get into those wrists because we are going to be gripping a lot of things. So we have 1 circle, 2, 3. Try and keep that elbow nice and straight if you can. and 6. So we're not using the elbow. We're not doing circles at that joint, just in the wrist. And then reverse it. 1, get out any Rice Krispies that you might have in that wrist. 4, 5, good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Other side. In my opinion, the wrists don't get enough love until it's too late. I know there's a couple of you in here that can relate to that. Working on some wrist stuff. And 6, good. 7, nice and big. 8, 9, and then reverse it other way. 1, 2, and 5, 6, 7. This is 8, 9, and that's 10. Beautiful. Okay, let's get right into it, folks. We're going to start with our weight today. So go ahead and grab your weighted object. If you want to use 2, that's fine. Okay. So we're going to do a combo today. We're going to do a curl to a press to start. So I'm going to demonstrate just with 1, assuming I might need this hand to support myself. Okay. Even if you don't, and it's just because you have 1 weight, you can just let the arm dangle. Okay. So we're sitting nice and tall. The weight is in 1 hand. I'm going to keep my elbow glued at my rib cage, and I'm going to curl my fingernails to my armpit. So this is 1. Then I'm going to flip the back of the weight to the front as I press overhead. And then we're going to take it back the way it came, fingernails to armpits, and then down. Okay, so a little bit of technique here. So detail here, fingernails to armpits, flip the weight, press, bring the fingernails back to the armpits, and then in. So notice how when I do this curl action, to get the bicep, this is what we're working. We have to keep that elbow in at the rib cage. I don't want to see this, right? Okay, so we curl 1, flip it 2, 3, and then 4. If you're doing both, it will look like this. 1, flip it 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 10 on the right, 10 on the left. If you're doing both, I will challenge you to do maybe 2 sets. Okay, so you can just keep moving with us. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders are back. Press, bring it in, slow it down as you let it go. And 2, 2, bring it in, fingernails to armpits. Nice. And we're breathing. Okay, I'm giving a medium-ish tempo. If you need to slow it down a little bit because you're working on the detail, that's fine. You don't have to be at my tempo. I just want to keep somewhat of a good pace for the class. Okay, we are over halfway. Nice. Okay, good. We have 2 more on this side, and then I'll be switching. If you're doing both at the same time, this could be your challenge to take like a 30-second break and go more until I'm done. The other side, or you can just keep going if that's a lightweight for you. So only because I can see you, Doreen, you can decide one of those. You can take a little rest, or you can keep going. And because you're doing both sides, it doesn't matter how many you get out in the second set. You'll just go until we're done. And 3, nice. And like I said, these should be no more than 5 pounds for most of us in here. Okay, feet flat on the floor. No change in the spine length. So we're staying nice and tall as we do this. Nice. Okay, so feeling the bicep, feeling the shoulder. This is a lot of shoulder. This is a combination. So we're hitting not 1, not 2, but like 3 to 6 muscles, depending on what part we're at. Okay, and again, this is also a really good one to help improve your grip strength. And done. Beautiful. Okay, grab your band. I would do a thicker band for most of us, or what might matter more is the length. So if you have a band that's longer, I recommend the longer one, because this is what we're going to do. we're going to put it under our feet. So you're going to put the band and you're going to step on it, or you're going to hook it under your foot plates. Okay. From there, if we need support, so in other words, if you don't have a hinge practice or you're new to my class and you're not sure, a hinge practice is where we are able to keep our spine long and hinge forward without collapsing. So it requires quite a bit of trunk. If that's something you can do, then you're going to stay here, grab the ends of the band, eyes on the floor, and you're going to do a bent over row. Okay. If you don't have a hinge practice, you're going to grab an object. It can be a block. It can be a pillow, a wrapped up towel, and you're going to rest your chest or your rib cage on that object to help keep your spine long. So what we're trying to avoid here is this rounded forward action, right? We want to keep that spine lifted. So if you need support, grab it. Then you'll do the exact same thing. Grab the band, eyes on the floor, and you're going to do a row. Okay. So this row is going to be working our back, so middle of the shoulder blades. If we're not bent over far enough, what happens is we start to use the neck and the traps, and we want to avoid that. So if you are using something like this, make sure you're hinging far enough forward where we can take the elbows down and back, like to the back corners of the couch. Okay. So I won't demonstrate with this. Get yourself set up under your foot plates and or under your feet. Hinge as far forward as you can comfortably. Shoulders are rolling back, eyes on the floor. 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to do 10 to 15. So I'll give you a range. Okay, I'll probably demonstrate 15 just so that we have enough time to all be here. Breathing, squeezing those shoulder blades. Elbows are going down and back. Last 5. Think of your belly button drawing into your spine here. Okay. 2 more. Good. And awesome. Nice. And then if you want, you can leave the band down there if that's easier. We're going to come back. Okay. So let's start with these 2 because it's technically 3 because we're going to be doing 2 sides on the curl to press. Okay, so mini sip of water, grab your weight. If you need to change your weight amount, that's fine. Otherwise, stick with what you've been using. It's okay to change mid set. I just want you to always challenge yourself. And on that note, if you need something lighter, that's also fine. Okay, so I'm going to start with my opposite side, so the one I ended with. If you don't have a clear dominant side, I would recommend switching. If you do have a dominant side to the point where the other side almost copycats it and you feel like you do better, then start with that dominant side again first. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Curl, fingernails to armpits, flip, bring it down, and there we go. 1, flip. Okay, 10 on each side. Nice and tall, trying to not lose that spine. Nice extension. Over halfway on this side. Okay, 2 more. And again. Good and excellent. And now we're going to switch sides. Okay, other side. If you're doing both at the same time, you can either keep moving, take a mini break, and start back again. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Fingernail to armpits, press. Make sure, everybody, when you're pressing overhead, watch my elbow. It goes to full extension. See? Straight. We don't want to end here. So full extension, okay? The only exception to that is if you have any type of pain going on from an injury. Otherwise, we really need to get that full extension. Nice. 3 more here. And last one. And awesome. Okay, set that aside. Same as before, bent over band rope. So your band is probably already set up. Grab your support if you need it. Otherwise, we're doing a nice hinge. So nice long spine, hinging from the waist. Eyes on the floor, chest nice and lifted. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're driving those elbows down and back. The other thing you can think of is keeping a nice long neck. Okay, we're doing 15, 10 to 15. I'll demonstrate 15. Awesome. We have 3. We have 2. And we have 1 and take a little break. Awesome. Okay, leave everything where it is. We're doing a 3rd round because today is strength. Strength, typically, we need to do at least 3 sets, okay? So 3 rounds. Grab a little sip of water, and then we'll go back to your curl to press. If anyone has any questions or comments, please write it in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to keep moving. If you're somebody that did, you started like right and then left, go ahead and pick either side you want to start with on this last round. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Nice and tall. Fingernails to armpits. Flip. And awesome. Breathing. Halfway there, everybody. Nice, smooth tempo, almost like you're moving through water. So none of the movements get thrown away. Last 2. Excellent. And other side. All right, switching or moving through it again. 3, 2, and 1. Fingernails to armpits. Curl, press, bring it down and in. Good. Fingernails to armpits. Flip. Stay tall. This is 8. 2 more, everybody. Last one. And bring it down. Beautiful. Okay. You can set that aside. Last time with your bent over rope, grab your support if you need it. Otherwise, we're hinging forward, grabbing your band. Here we go. 10 to 15, eyes on the floor, nice and long in the back of the neck. And we're off. Belly button drawing into the spine. Exhale on the work. Keep breathing. Everybody, you're doing great. 3 rounds is a lot. Here we go. Last 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And my band came out. Good. Okay, you're done with that circuit. So grab a little sip of water. This next circuit, we're actually done with the weight. So you don't need your weight anymore. We're going to start with a band. I would probably do a lighter band if you have it than what you just did. If you don't, that's fine. I'll show you what we're doing and then you can kind of decide. If you need grip assistance, sometimes it's nice to have loops in your band. You probably, if that's something you need, you might have already had that done. Otherwise, sometimes we can do this wrapping. Okay, we're going to do some of these. They're like Cupid bow and arrows. Okay, so we're going to have the hand out in front, or sorry, at our side, and we're looking. Okay, and then we're going to be doing a grab pretty close to that end. Okay, so this is the tension, this gap. So if you're unsure and you want to loosen it up, have a bit more of a gap here. Okay, and it's almost like we're pulling a bow and arrow, like Cupid's bow and arrow. So we're going to think of pulling that band back, and I'm pulling it really close to my face. I could smell it. It's like right up my nose, and this elbow's high, and then you're going to take it back. Okay, so our eyes are over the hand. You can look at me for now if you need to. And we're pulling back that bow and arrow. Keep the band close to your face, elbow high, and then back to where you were. So it's like you're wiping a tabletop. So none of this. We're not pulling down. Okay? This is only going to be 10. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Pull, and then back to where you started. Pull, eyes over that front hand. Focusing on that shoulder blade. So the arm that's pulling the band is that back shoulder blade. We're imagining it gliding in towards the spine as we pull. Two more. And some of you might realize if you are having a heavier band, you might want to lengthen your grip a little bit. I know for me, this is a bit thicker than what I demonstrate with, so I can definitely feel that. Okay, other side. Other hand is extended. Okay, go ahead and grab somewhat close to where your hand is. Nice and tall, eyes over that front hand. Elbow high, 3, shoulders away from your ears, 2, and 1. And we're pulling. Keep it close to your face, so it's like you could smell the band. That's really important. And 4. Nice. Breathing. Last 3. 9. And 10. Nice. Good. Bring that down. Woo. So some of you, if you can feel those shoulders, that's good. The back. Okay. We are going to have our dowel. So hopefully it weighs nothing. We're going to go for a little bit more power. So we're going to be pressing and pushing. So the elbows are going to be somewhat up. We don't want to have them dangling down here. The dowel's right at the chest. With power, we're going to press and bring it right back in. And then we're going to push right back in. So push, press, push, press. Okay, we're going to do 10. So 1 front, 1 up. That's 1 rep. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep moving. 5, 6. Get those elbows straight. And 9, and 10, and done. Take a break. Okay, good. So one thing, make sure if you do have more length on your dowel or whatever it is you're using, even a band, make sure you're as wide as you possibly can if it's not very wide. So I think I just noticed, Angie, make sure whatever you're holding, make sure you're just holding it at the very ends. Okay, just so that your shoulders feel the best. Okay. Doreen, I think yours is fine. Lift yours. Yeah, you're good. You're good. It's just a safer position for our shoulders. Okay. Awesome. We're going to do this again. So back to your bow and arrow. Okay. I'm going to start on the side I ended with because I don't have that dominant side. Okay. So if you want to switch your leading hand, go for it. Here we go. Also a note, I keep saying to look over your front hand, but if you do need the monitor, feel free to look at me. Okay. Here we go. Arm out extended, neck nice and long, elbow up on a table. 3, 2 and 1. We're pulling. For 10. And 6. Nice. Nine. That's it, everybody. Last one. Big pull. Feel that shoulder blade glide. Excellent. Take a couple seconds to switch. Hopefully I'm not moving too fast today. Just want to get everything in. Here we go. Setting it up nice and tall. Lift that chest. 3, 2, and 1. Feet are planted. No wiggle parties here. Try and stay square. Elbow high. Try not to let that elbow drop down. Remember, the band is, and your hand is staying really close to your face. So it's like you could smell the band. And 7. Squeezing that shoulder blade. And 9. Last one. 10 and rest. Awesome. Okay, set that aside. We have one more set of our push press. The goal with this is to be fast. Okay, it's not a slow. I want us to, okay, we want to use those power muscles so we can recruit more muscles. Okay, it's going to give us a little bit more of that speed when we're doing things in real life when we need it. All right, here we go. Enough talking, Megan. 3, 2, elbows up. 1, go. 2, powerful. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, everybody. Just keep it dynamic. You're almost done. 8, 9, and 10. And awesome. Good. Okay, set that aside. 5 big shoulder rolls coming back, just because that was a lot of shoulder work. 1, 2, let your heart rate come down. 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to do a half a head roll. So nice and easy. 1, this is the opposite movement quality of what we just did. Nice and fluid and smooth. And 3, last 3 here. Slowing your breathing down. 4, 5, and 1 more, really tucking that chin. 6, and done. Awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, we apologize for having that late start. Next week, I'm sure we'll be starting right on time. I hope to see you all then. I'll stay on for just a second or two if anyone has any questions. Okay, otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Doreen.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Thanks, Cosser.
Sorry for the late start.
Yeah, all good, all good. It's a good practice. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.